Hello, and welcome back to the weekly Oracle card reading with Kylie Savage, Psychic Medium. Now, you're here to receive a very special psychic prescription for how to best work with the universal energies that will be available this week. And the week I'm talking about is from the 14th of December to the 20th of December 2019. Can you believe we're midway through December? It is just rushing by. And I hope in this very busy time that you're still going to be able to pause and reflect, look back on this year and what it's really been like for you. And even this decade, we're being encouraged to look at, back over the last 10 years and look at, what have been some of the major life themes, how have we experienced and faced the challenges that have come up for us, what goals have we achieved, what were our intentions, some of, the major life events and how we handled those. And then setting intentions for 2020. I talked a little bit about this in last week's video, but if you haven't already seen that, I really do love this time, as you said, to pause, to reflect, and then to look at, how do we want to co-create our best life in 2020? And how can we take personal responsibility for what happens in our life, and what we do get to experience and what we don't? Sometimes it's about taking things off our plate more than adding things in. And it's all about finding the balance. So I've chosen a word for 2020, and my word is courage. And you might like to do something like that too. What's a particular word, that just maybe intuitively comes to you or you're really drawn to? You might keep seeing it around everywhere. And how can that word really help you set the tone for next year? I'll probably be talking more about this in other videos and on my Facebook page, and I'll be sharing the practice that I go through. There are many free tools out there to help you do this reflection process and set your goals for 2020. I find that it just helps to keep it really, really simple and do something that works for you. But I really love to create rituals. So anything that helps you do, some releasing and make it pretty, light some candles, play some music, pour yourself a nice, glass of something non-alcoholic or bubbly, and make it really special, create an atmosphere and ritualize it, because rituals are so powerful and it will create a real impression, on your memory. And when you journal about what you're doing or however you're creating this process, you're going to be able to look back and remember, oh yes, this is what I did. And these goals and the intentions that you set will probably stay, more in front of mind if you do something, with a ritual. Okay, so talking about rituals, it is still the full moon in Gemini energy. For the Southerners, that was last night, and I was one of the people getting caught up in the rush. So all I managed to do was put my jar of water out to collect some 1212 full moon Gemini water, which I'll use in my rituals, and use to make my magical myths, which are really great. They're a really lovely sort of practical everyday piece of magic that I can use, and it's really beneficial for myself and my clients. Okay, so I'll probably be doing my ritual tonight. You have a 3-day window on any new moon or full moon, and I want to quickly share with you. So yes, we're still in the energy of the full moon. If you haven't done your ritual, it's not too late. And then we have a new moon in Virgo coming up, and that will be the last moon of 2019. And that's on the 26th for the Northerners and the 27th for the Southerners, and it's an eclipse. So talking about how you have the 3-day window, an eclipse extends the energy. So you will have an even longer window to work in those energies. Then remember I talked about we're going into Capricorn, so fantastic energy for this time of year and to set ourselves up for a brilliant January. Okay, the book that I always talk about is Moonology, and it's by Yasmin Boland, and she's a Hay House author. Please go to www.moonology.com to find out all about Yasmin. And, everything you need to know about moon manifesting is in this book. Absolutely everything. It's packed full of stuff. If you subscribe to Yasmin's newsletter, she also sends you very kindly, a free worksheet on each new and full moon so that you can work through them. And I'm so happy because I have the Moonology 2020 diary. So this is my first lunar diary, and this is absolutely packed with stuff. It will cover the new moon in Virgo and the eclipse, and then set you straight up into January, all the full moons, all the new moons, all the eclipses, all the special events. I also have, and you would have seen if you've been watching these videos, Yasmin's Moonology Oracle cards, and I love that deck. It's so fantastic. I use it with my moon manifesting. It's helping me to understand the lunar phases more and all the new moons and full moons, and all the different, types of moons and what they really mean. I just love it. Such, another way to make, manifestation really practical and really beautiful and incorporating a ritual. Okay, getting on with this reading. When I saw these cards, I was like, this is so lovely. They're just really beautiful. And they were all upright too this week. Okay, so from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid, I've pulled 4 cards, and the anchor card is the Fates. Now, same thing, if you've been watching these videos, this card has come up before and I would have talked about. The anchor card is the card that sets the tone for the whole reading. And then each card that comes after the anchor card just adds another layer of meaning and messages to the story in motion. It expands the story. Okay, so the Fates is essentially the Serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I really love that it's come up at this time of year, because we can be getting really caught up in things and feel like, time's running out and feel under pressure to, where is that time for me to pause and reflect and set my goals for 2020? And it can be a really stressful time too if you do celebrate Christmas or you're going to, have a break from work over the holidays and, organising your holiday and wrapping up work and, making sure you're all packed and ready to go. So it's really, really important to think about, accepting the things you cannot change, like flight schedules, weather, children, pets, delivery timetables, things like that. All the things that, it's just not worth stressing about because there's nothing you can do about it. Then the courage to change your things you can. And from having many, many years in Al-Anon, what I learned from this prayer, saying it every day, sometimes several times a day, it's a fantastic mantra if you want to use it as a mantra, is the courage to change the things I can. The things I can change are most often things to do with myself. If I bring the focus back to me, there's always something I can do about me. I can change my attitude. I can change my behavior. I can change my thoughts. I can change my words. I'm always learning and growing and evolving. I can have more patience with myself, more self-compassion, more self-love. I can give myself a break. There's so much we can do when the focus is here. When the focus is out there on other people, places, and things, not so much we can do. When we keep the focus on ourselves, remember we're being the example. We are being the role model. And we are being, the best, putting out the best vibration that we can because we're being the best us that we can be. And that does have a ripple effect. And we need to remember, we do co-create our lives. The world we experience is the one that we think about. It's created in our minds. I think I've talked about before, Dr. Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way you think about things, or you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So what's the experience you're having of life at the moment? And if you're not happy with it, can you apply the Serenity prayer? Can you pause? And can you take some responsibility? And can you say, okay, well, what are the things I can change? And start there. I find the last line is the one that people get so caught up with. is, the wisdom to know the difference. And the wisdom is we're asking our higher power to sort out the wheat from the chaff. What's our responsibility? What's not our responsibility? Because sometimes we get so caught up with things, and life's going 100 miles a minute, and we have no real loving detachment. Colette says, our life is suction cupped onto the end of our nose. We're not in that observer mode, and we really can't see the difference. That's why it's so important to ask our higher power too. So as we go about this week, serenity prayer. Okay. Now, deep knowing, I think, was in protection. I know I've seen it in protection lately. I'm not sure if it was the last weekly reading or another reading I've been doing. Now, deep knowing is your intuition. One thing blocks off intuition more than anything else, and that is just being crazy busy, being up in our head, not really being observant. As you said, living life, going around with our life suction cup to the end of our face, and just getting caught up, and we miss our intuition. It's not that spirit doesn't communicate with us, through all the signs, through all the symbols, through all the many ways that the universe chats with us. And Clint always talks about how chatty the universe is, and it is. But, it's just us. So the things we can change is us. So we feel like we're not connected to our intuition. We feel like we're missing the signs. We feel like we're out of sync with our lives and the universe. We're out of touch. We need to pause. We need to slow down and say, right, the universe is talking to me through, a myriad of ways. I am an intuitive being. Being intuitive is a human ability, an essential component to our humanity. That's what I've been describing it as. So when I slow down and I make a conscious effort and set an intention to connect with my intuition and to receive it, that will start happening again. And we're being encouraged, because often at this time of year, we've got to make lots of choices, or we may, get into that caregiver mode or people-pleasing mode, and we want to make everything all right for other people. Our intuition is saying to us, oh, something feels a bit off about this. So we need to remember it's important to live an intuitive way of life, to trust our intuition, to know that that's in our highest good, for the highest good of our highest good and everyone else's. So, it's meant to be. And your intuition, if you trust it, it will show you. If you've dug a hole, it's going to show you the way out. And if you've got to make all these choices, and they're tricky choices, trust the intuitive process to lead you to making the very best choices, the very best that you can, given your skill set, given, your time constraints, given everything else. Intuition is the key to lead a sane, serene life. We can do a whole contemplation on serenity. Let me know in the comments what serenity means to you. I know it's a word that I didn't think of until I got into a 12-step program. Okay, round and round. When people see this, they can actually feel like, squirrely, like they're going round and round, like a dog chasing their tail, and they feel like they're getting nowhere. 2 steps forward, 1 back. Round and round, it has a deeper message. So especially given these cards, it's saying, okay, you remember this time last year. You remember perhaps you had a situation or an incident with a workmate or a family member, or just yourself, how you've felt conflicted about this time of year. So you are re-experiencing similar situation, and it's coming up and it's triggering, some old lessons, some old deeper spiritual lessons, and you're being given another opportunity to, peel another layer off the onion. This is what I call the onion card. Peel another layer off the onion and get this lesson at a deeper level. We don't learn our lessons, just once and that's it. Very rarely. More often, it's that continual process of shedding. And we are in this big shedding process at the moment, preparing us for the new year and, for the new decade. It's really exciting, and it's making a lot more sense to me as we go on. So round and round, you're not going crazy. You are not going backwards. You're not devolving. You're just learning lessons at deeper levels. take that with you. That's a really positive sign. Always see that and think, we're shifting, we're growing, we're evolving. Here and now, I think we had this card last week. I meant to check. So the key to all the messages that we've received, the key to this story in motion is to stay in the present moment. We may be getting caught up in the rush at this time of year. We may feel like time's running out and all the rest of it. Our power, our peace is in the present moment, and we need to stay there. Very much stay in our body. I'm pretty sure we got this message last week. It's very important. Stay in the body, stay connected, stay out of our heads, come from our hearts, in the body, grounded, and take all our action from there. So things that help me with here and now is meditation, walking, tapping. Tapping puts you in your body. I've been doing self-hypnosis meditations with Brad Yates. You can find them on YouTube. He's got self-hypnosis for abundance, and I think one for radiating love. I think there's about 3 there, but if you dig through it, Brad has heaps of videos. I love it. So yeah, Brad Yates. What's he called? I think it's called No, it's not Tap into Action. It's Mary Ayres. Sorry. When I find a link, I'll put it in the comments. But Brad Yates on YouTube. Yes, so here and now. This is going to be our Serenity Saver. Stay in the present moment. Breathing. The 4-round breathing just in and out through your nose, or breathing in for 4, breathing out for 5. There's a guy who wrote a book called A Moment of Insight. I'll find his link and put it in the comments as well. And he was talking all about, once again, how important breathing is to reduce our anxiety and to put us in our bodies and to help us capitalize on the present moment. Fantastic. Okay, and then we have Charity. This is from Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light Oracle. Just had to look then. Isn't she just beautiful? And I've just been listening to Mike Robbins, his podcast, and he was talking from the CEO of Charity Water. I think that's what it's called. I might put this link in there as well. And I was thinking all about charity. We've had the drought that's still ongoing. We've had the bushfires. And I'm thinking, this time of year I've been encouraging people, instead of, giving your family members gifts, like giving, them another pair of socks or a box of chocolates or, a teddy bear or whatever it is, let's consider giving charitable donations as gifts. So you can donate to Rural Aid, the Koala Sanctuary at Port Macquarie, Koala Hospital, things like that. This time of year, or something like Charity Water, which is a charity I'm really interested in. So Charity is one of the 3 angels. There's a trinity. It's faith, hope, and charity. I've been thinking a lot about faith and a lot about hope, and that was our question as well. And it says on here, prayer and contemplation. Connect with heaven, ask, and you shall receive. So Charity is our guide for anything that came up in this reading. So you can connect with her. The angel that she is sort of the twin of is Archangel Chamuel. And I hope I got that right. I'll check in the guidebook. Okay, let me have a look. Yes, I did. Archangel Chamuel. Okay, so you can connect with Charity, and even just the word charity, and that will, bring in the energy of this angel and be saying, guide and direct my thoughts and actions. How can I express charity? Sometimes it's charity for ourselves, it is for our family, but how can we take that out to the wider community? How can we be of service? This is a wonderful time for giving, or for setting up, a practice you want to take into next year. Perhaps you'd like to give 10% of all your earnings, break it up and give it to different charities. But, or teach your children, the Christian message from Christmas, which was about giving and receiving. Okay, so there's Charity. And from the Crystal Spirits Oracle by Colette Baron Reid, we have the Crystal Spirit Hematite. Hematite is a really good healing stone. You only need a very small one. If you have people who feel like they need to be more grounded, if they're having nightmares, things like that, howlite's very good. Hematite's very good. It's very good for blood. I think of it as being magnetic too. So I like the sort of another message I'm taking from this is that our thoughts are magnetic. So, be really thinking about the Serenity prayer, connecting with our intuition, learning our lessons at deeper levels, our spiritual lessons, staying in the here and now. Think about the thoughts we're thinking and how they go out to the world, and how we attract a like vibration. So hematite, very magnetic. Okay, it's about grounding. It's about staying in our body. The message is that when we're feeling disconnected, when we're up in our head, we're getting really caught up, really entangled with, the physical material world. We're putting pressure on ourselves. That's what I feel like. We're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves, especially at this time of year. We want to get things right. We want to have the perfect Christmas, rah, rah, rah. And we're out of our bodies. So to be more fully connected, mind, body, and spirit, this is the message. I practice some really easy grounding meditations. I like to do grounding as well when I'm having the shower. I do the white light meditation, and I think about anything I don't need being released, down the drain. And then, you can even just think heavy thoughts, do that earthing thing, walk on the bare earth with your without shoes on. It's a bit crunchy around here at the moment. I was talking with friends about green patches of grass. We're all finding where's our green patch of grass. But yeah, anything that really helps you feel connected to the earth. I find my moon manifesting rituals, connecting with the moon, I really feel, that stronger connection with all of life and with the earth. I'm on this planet, Lunar's out there, I don't know, just something happens there. Lighting candles, surrounding yourself with the elements, very practical, magical rituals and tools you can bring into your life to support you for wherever you're at. But yes, the message is also for your serenity, stay grounded. Okay, I trust that this reading was really, beneficial for you. You took something from it that's going to assist and support you in the week ahead. I would love to hear your feedback and comments. So please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I will definitely respond to you. And hit the bell, and then you get notified when these videos come out. If you would like to get in touch with me, my readings, the bookings for my readings are closing very, very soon. You need to email me, kyliesavagepsychic@gmail.com. I still do the Psychic 3 questions readings and the Mediumship 3 questions readings, currently available via email, unless you're local, and then I go and visit you in your home. Okay, so many, many blessings on your week. Please let me know how you go with it, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.